Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So today's grammar lesson is a simple one to make up for that very long first ayah. Just going over question words, right? Because most sentences that we talk about, even in English, are regular declarative sentences. But sometimes we have to ask questions. Just in case you didn't know, we also use questions in English. Okay, that's basically the point. So these are how you start a sentence that's asking a question. Just like in English, who, what, when, where, why, how, if, or not if, but there are multiple different question words. In Arabic, these are the question words. Basically, they're copied straight from lesson 21 of your blue book. So basically, go over the meanings of those in lesson 21. Some of the important ones, obviously, are man, okay? Did I even put ma in here? Yeah, right here. Ma and mada, these are pretty important. Mata ayana, okay. Kaifa, okay. So, and let's do one more. If I had to pick one more, I would pick lima lim. Why, okay. So this is what, who, when, how, why, okay. Most of the common ones here. And aina, we'll just add aina for the fun, okay. Hal we already did, okay. So just remember that. We already did this one. It's a yes no question. It starts a yes no question. Okay? The rest of these they're less common, but they come in the Quran. Okay? And for example, we'll have certain examples from here in the example section. But basically, you start the sentence with these words if you want to ask a question. It's very simple. It's not anything, you don't have to know all the i'rab. It doesn't change the i'rab. Okay, no i'rab changes. Basically, you take your declarative sentence. For example, the book is big. Al-kitabu kabir. Then you just ask, is the book big? Hal kitabu kabir. It's very simple. You don't do anything to the sentence. Just one note though, the words are only questions when these words are in the beginning. If they're in the middle, they will become relative pronouns. If you remember 3 weeks when we had the last lesson, I fumbled a little bit when we were talking about allavi, allati, and then I was talking about ma, right? So I said like we were talking about whether it's idafa, whether it's a relative pronoun. Here, I want you to go back specifically and look at the ending of last week's lesson to look about those relative pronouns which are used when you don't have a definite noun before it. Because allavi is only used with definite. Okay? So ma and man are used with indefinite. So go back and look at the lesson. For examples, I picked a poor example last time, but here are some good examples. And it's good that this lesson builds on that. So basically, these words are question words unless they come in the middle. Then they're relative pronouns that are indefinite. Versus alladhi, allati, those are definite. So these are good examples of like pronouns. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ man. Man is who, right? So you can say man hadha, who is this as a question, or man. From among the people are who argue. Yujadilu fillah. Ma indallahi baq. What is with Allah is forever. This is not really a question, so it's a good example of one that even in the beginning of a sentence is not a question. Okay? So you have to kind of look at the context. Ma indakum yanfad wa ma indallahi baq. ما كان على النبي من حرج فيما. So فيما is a question. If you look at the last list, فيما could be a question word. But there's no haraj on the Nabi in what Allah made fard. Okay? So basically watch out for where the question word appears, but usually in the beginning it's a question sentence. So just examples. أَإِنَّكَ لَأَنْتَ Yusuf. Where's the question word? The first right here. It's a yes no question. Are you Yusuf? Why do I keep saying yes no questions? Because there's no translation in English that covers all the meanings of a. It could be are, will, do, all is. All of these are yes no questions in English. All of them use either a or hal in Arabic. Hal and a are synonyms. Okay? أَإِنَّكَ لَأَنْتَ Yusuf? Are you Yusuf? أَإِلَهُمْ مَعَ اللَّهِ? Is there an ilah with Allah? So we had are you Yusuf? Is there ilah ma Allah? Afala taqilun, that's an extra one I put. It's not just a, but it's afala. Do you not? It's a rhetorical kind of a with fala at the end. Afala taqilun. Qul hal. This example is here for two reasons. One is to show hal is the same as a. Qul hal indakum min ilmin. Is there with you any ilm? Is there with you any ilm? The second is that yes, these questions have to appear in the beginning of the sentence, but there can be a word before it. Okay? So qul is kind of its own independent clause. Qul, say, hal indakum min ilm. Okay, so a lot of times you'll see this question word with qul. Okay? Or qala, somebody, and then the question. It's just like in Arabic and English. When you have a novel and you write dialogue, he said, comma, in quotations, did you do something, right? You do he said, comma, quotation mark, did Harry Potter kill the spider? Question mark, end quote, right? So that's still a question, but there are words before that in the same sentence. You follow what I'm saying? So it's still, this is just like that. I don't know. Okay, something like that. Anna yakunu li ghulam. Anna means like how, almost, okay? Mata how will I have a ghulam? Mata nasrullah, when is the nasr of Allah? Mata nasrullah. When is the nasr of Allah coming, basically? A few more examples. Ayyana yawmuddin. Ayyana is a synonym of mata. It means the same, when. But ayyana is only used in the Quran. You don't see that ever after in modern standard Arabic. Amma yatasa'alun, about what do they ask? It's kind of like an and ma together, right? An is about, ma is what? About what do they ask? Kayfa takfuruna billahi wa kuntum. Kayfa is how. How do you disbelieve in Allah? Wa kuntum what? We had this ayah before. Qala kam labist. He said, how long? Well, yeah, basically, how long have you labist, stayed alive? Okay? So those are just a few examples. They're all over the Quran. Look at lesson 21. There's like 20 other examples in there. A lot of these are copied from lesson 21. But just try to find the question word and try to see what it means. Okay? And relate it back to the chart of the exact meanings. Okay, سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.